If you've ever wandered the streets of Semarang, central Java, you might have passed a massive white colonial era building, its tall, arched windows watching you like hundreds of unblinking eyes. Locals call it Lawang Sewu, the building of 1,000 doors. By day, it's a museum, and by night, it's a labyrinth of whispers, footsteps, and weeping. They say a bride walks the halls, a woman in white, her veil soaked in blood, her sobs echoing through iron bars and tiled corridors. And she's not looking for her groom anymore. She's looking for you. Let me tell you the story of the weeping bride of Lawang Sewu, a tale that begins not with a ghost, but with a war. Built in 1904 by the Dutch East Indies Railway Company, Lawang Sewu was never meant to be terrifying. In fact, it was a symbol of progress, a modern railway administration complex with elegant stained glass windows, grand staircases, and yes, more than 600 doors, earning it the nickname Lawang Sewu or 1,000 doors. But even during its early days, something lingered. Workers would often complain of whispers near the basement. Others reported seeing fleeting glimpses of a woman in white staring from the windows of the West Wing always around dusk. But nothing ever came of it. Not until the Japanese occupation during World War II. That's when Lawang Sewu stopped being an office and became a prison. When the Imperial Japanese Army took control of Indonesia in 1942, they saw Lawang Sewu's sprawling basement and reinforced architecture and turned it into a torture chamber. Locals were dragged in, suspects, rebels, informants, even civilians. Many were never seen again. The basement of Building B, the deepest chamber, became infamous for water torture, beatings, and executions. Today it's sealed, but even with the door locked, visitors claim to hear water dripping and weeping sounds. One of those tortured, or so the story goes, was a young Japanese bride, newly married to a Dutch railway worker who refused to cooperate with the Japanese. Her name has been lost to history, but some call her Sari. Others simply know her as the bride. According to local oral legend, she and her husband lived in one of the staff quarters near Lawang Sewu. On the day of their wedding, he was taken by Japanese forces, accused of espionage. She followed him, begged for his release. She was thrown into the basement too. And what they did to her was never officially recorded. All we know is the next time anyone saw her, she was dangling from a ceiling beam. A red veil around her neck, her white kabaya torn, her eyes open. Today, Lawang Sewu is a heritage site, brightly lit during the day, but once the sun sets, something ancient takes over. Visitors report crying sounds from the basement, even when locked. Mirrors fogging up on their own, revealing a figure behind them. Sudden drops in temperature, especially in the western wing. In 2004, a teenage girl fainted during a school tour. When she awoke, she asked why everyone was dressed differently, insisting it was 1942. In 2007, a local TV crew entered the basement for a paranormal episode. Halfway through the shoot, the main camera malfunctioned. The backup kept rolling, capturing what looked like a woman in white gliding behind them. The footage was aired on Trans TV's Uji Nyali, Indonesia's version of Coast Adventures. It caused national frenzy. To this day, skeptics debate if it was real or not. Lawang Sewu's basement was officially used as a Japanese detention center during World War II. Torture and executions were confirmed by Indonesian National Archives. The story of the bride is oral folklore passed down by Semarang locals. No official record of her name exists, but several paranormal shows, including Dunia Lain and Uji Nyali, have captured unexplained visuals inside Lawang Sewu. The local government has sealed certain sections of the basement due to repeated disturbances during renovation attempts. Locals continue to leave offerings, jasmine flowers, candles, and sometimes wedding rings at the doorway of the west wing. Some say the weeping isn't just sorrow, it's rage. A bride who never got her justice. A woman trapped between love and vengeance. They say if you visit Lawang Sewu alone and you whisper the words, "I'm here, bride," she might appear. But be aware, because if you look her in the eyes, she'll follow you home, not to haunt you, but to marry you forever. Semarang has changed. The trains run smoother now. The walls have been painted, but inside Lawang Sewu, some stories still linger. So if you're ever in Central Java, and if you feel drawn to that old colonial hall, take a moment, stand before the 1,000 doors and ask yourself, which one is hers?